This says, you never slip, you never fall. You only learn and get better, period. Because I never slip. I never fall. So I never fall. Y'all, welcome to my channel. If you are new here, my name is Bella Ami. You could just call me Bella. I am a self-mastery guy. I'm a choreographer and I'm a creative and just overall multi-creative. Okay, we do a little bit of everything over here. We dance, we create, we heal, we live, we laugh, we learn. If you're introspective, if you're tired of the surface level wellness, and if you're just ready to reconnect with your creativity, your personal power, and your truth, this is the space for you. So come on in, have a drink, have some tea, grab some snacks, because we about to get into it. So before we start, I'm gonna grab from my little wellness box. I made these affirmations too, so I'm gonna grab from just the regular Post-its that I have. Okay, what does this say? This says, you never slip, you never fall. You only learn and get better, period. Because I never slip. I never fall. So I never call. Okay. Okay. I made these, by the way, on Canva. Okay, this says, I am giving myself permission to take creative breaks, knowing that rest is part of the creative cycle. Practical step, take a 10-minute walk or give yourself a few days during a creative block to recharge. I actually took a walk outside today because it felt good. Don't you love when everything is connected? Okay, boom. So today we're talking about collapsing timelines. And if you don't know what that means, don't worry, I got you. So collapsing timelines is really simple if you study energy, if you study if you study energy, if you study metaphysics, if you study quantum theory, then you know this. Every version of you already exists. Every outcome, every possibility, every path is already in the field. So a lot of people look at like quantum leaping or collapsing timelines as like creating a new life, which I mean, in theory, you are. But it's less about creating a new life and more about connecting so deeply with the version of you who has what you want that the old version of you cannot even hold on to you anymore. So you're not chasing the shift, right? You're actually becoming the shift. And when your energy matches that frequency, boom, that whole timeline collapses. So let me share with you guys what's been going on with my life. I was in a stagnant relationship. Yes. Very private, okay? Now, I was in a very stagnant relationship. I was stuck in my brand, Goddess Vibrations, and I was clocking into a job that really didn't reflect who I really was. I wasn't happy, I wasn't grounded, and I damn sure wasn't satisfied with like how I was showing up. So something had to change. And at some point in your life, you have to take responsibility over your life. If you don't like what's happening in your life, complaining about it, moping about it is not going to change anything. You have to start making changes or moving towards the path that you want to be on. So this is the thing that a lot of people struggle with, is being really honest with themselves. At some point you get tired of your own shit. You know what I'm saying? You start looking at your own patterns and you ask yourself, okay, is this really reflecting the life that I want to live? And you realize that not choosing yourself is just another form of self-abandonment. Yes. If you keep choosing everything other than yourself, you're basically telling your reality, God, the universe, source, whoever, that this is what I want. If you're complaining about it but you're not doing anything about it, you're not choosing yourself, you're constantly abandoning yourself, that's what you're choosing for yourself ultimately. I got really honest with myself and I asked myself, is this really me? And then boom, that's when things started to collapse. So it all started with the breakup. I walked away from a relationship because I told myself, yes, I love this person, but if I stay in this relationship, it will literally be me telling me you're not a priority and your feelings don't matter, your needs don't matter. Like, it would literally be me abandoning myself if I stay in this relationship. And some of the hardest things that you will have to do is walk away from people, situations, environments that you feel comfortable in but you're not expanding in. I'm thinking of the version of myself who is happy, who is healthy, who is expanding in her brand and teaching. Would she stay in this? The version of me who's confident, who's rooted, who's selective about who she spends her time around, who knows her worth, would she stay in this? No. In this situation, you know, sometimes people make promises, they want to change, they want to show you A, B, and C. I realized that this was not a situation that was going to change. Okay, people change because they want to change. And oh hell no, I'm sorry, I thought there was a wasp on my thing. People change because they want to change, not because you're this amazing person. And people can be inspired to change, but they're not going to change because you're just this beautiful, amazing, kind, sweet person. No, people change because they want to change. I ended up leaving that situation. That was me breaking a lifelong cycle of just staying in a situation just because I was comfortable, or I was scared, or having fear of change. And then it was the job that I was at for almost 2 years. You know, it was very limiting, not just in what I was doing, but in how I was treated. You know, it didn't honor my creativity, it didn't honor my energy. So I started applying to jobs that was double, almost triple what I was making, and I got one. I stopped applying to jobs as the girl who was scared and what if I don't know. I started applying to project manager, leadership, director, all these jobs. Y'all gotta use your imagination, you know. Don't apply to jobs just because you feel like, oh well, I'm gonna stay here because it's safe. No, go beyond that. You know, most people say like, oh, it's your mindset. It wasn't just about mindset. Mindset is only one part of it. It was about embodiment. I had to start showing up differently applying to these jobs. So these are some of the practices that I did to truly embody the version of me who had the life that I wanted. Number one, I started stretching every morning. You know how they say you do something for 30 days, it becomes a habit? I still, like, I can't wake up now and not stretch. I started picking my clothes out the night before. Clothes, jewelry, shoes. Preparing myself for success for the next day. I made tea, I sat in silence. Didn't touch my phone. I know that doesn't go for everybody, but for me, I don't touch my phone before I meditate, before I drink my tea, before I stretch, because I just feel like if I touch my phone, then I'm gonna go to my text messages, and I'm gonna go to TikTok, and I'm gonna go to Instagram, and I'm blah 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 blah, and I feel like that keeps me in the bed. It keeps me stagnant, right? And when you have goals, and this is not to say you can't ever do it, let's not say that, but what I'm saying is more often than not, you want to keep that consistency. I stopped waiting for motivation and started creating my own anchors. I made a vision board on my phone. Now, I'm not a big vision board person, but I will make a vision board on my phone as my wallpaper, because every time I look at my phone, boom, there it is. Quotes, pictures of me, the version of me, the embodiment of who I am. I wrote out the version of me I wanted to be. Who am I? Confident, calm, clear, selective, right? And I made a decision every single day that moved me towards that direction. I stopped waiting to be seen, and I saw myself. Leaving that relationship, leaving that job, leaving that version of myself, you know, I grieved it all. But just because you're grieving doesn't mean you regret it. But when you stop labeling these things as like good or bad, and it just is, like, there's just a certain level of peace that you have within yourself. Like, life works in cycles. So if you just tell yourself like, okay, this cycle has come to an end, I'm starting to see things repeat over and over again, it's time to make some changes. Honestly, what this has taught me is that what a lot of people see as a loss is redirection. Some things you think are falling apart, but they're really falling into place. When one thing ends, something begins. It's the law of nature. It's just, you get to a point where you take those leaps. You can say, actually, you know what? I'm good. This was fun though. This was cool. Or actually, I'm out of here. I'm out of here, Jack. So now I'm in this new timeline where I trust myself, where I feel self-fulfilled, where I literally wake up every day. I get to do what I love to do. I just want to say, if you're in this space where you're asking this question, like, is this really me? Is this really the life that I want to live? Let that be your beginning. Let that be the start of your journey of, let me just take that leap. You're not behind. You're not too late. You're not too old. You're not too young. Whatever the case you think is. embodiment, your frequency, what you admit, what you not only think about, because mindset is only one part of it, but your mindset, your actions, what you believe, how you treat yourself, the things that you do every day, those things matter. So I hope you guys love this video, and now that I got my cute setup, more videos are coming. Well, I'll talk to y'all later. Bye.